Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. Hey, I am so sorry it's taken so long to get back with everybody on the results of this dyno test. Life has been absolutely brutal lately, and I just haven't had any free time to put anything together. But today is the day. We're going to reveal who won the contest. Before I start out, just want to briefly remind you that we had looks like about 65 people that put in guesses on the horsepower and torque, and we started out at 24 horsepower and 15 foot-pounds of torque. I do want to say one thing. I may have kind of misled people a little bit in that I got so excited with the horsepower and the torque numbers that I think I might have been so excited that it probably misled people into thinking that it made more than it did. But keep in mind, this is a small motor. It's designed for enduro riding and long lasting, and so it's not a full-on race motor. You know, early 450s were putting out, you know, maybe 37 horsepower, and the modern day race bikes, and I'm talking about race bikes, motocross bikes, modern day 250s are getting up to the 38 horsepower range, but they're full-on race motors that are not designed to last for a long period of time. So keep that in mind. You know, a motor that's been modified, if you get 10%, 15, or maybe even 20% improvement out of the motor, that's considered pretty dang good. So keep that in mind as you watch the dyno numbers. Sorry, we got a big old truck running by here. Let's go ahead and run the dyno.
That gives you an idea what the power's going to be, but see our red line? See how we're getting down there? Yeah. So that's what we're going to work on. We'll make that a perfectly straight line in every stroke, so that way it's just crisp. But like power-wise,
it's probably close.
Yeah,
that's still good. I mean, it's torque.
Oh, it's huge.
For a bike like
well,
this.
Well, not just that, even the horsepower jumps way up there. So, but we'll get there.
Okay, everybody, we've got the final dyno numbers here. Let's come up to the screen here and see if we can figure it out. Let's see if I can get this camera on here. if you can see that. You got to scroll it up a little bit. I know you probably can't see that. 34.23 horsepower. That's 34.23 horsepower. You see that?
Oh, it's probably too close.
And 21.84 foot-pounds of torque. So that's what, a 33% gain on horsepower, and gosh, about the same for torque. And if you look at the torque curve, the blue line at the bottom represents the initial torque curve. Look how flat. I mean, it's over 20 foot-pounds of torque from 5,100 RPMs all the way to 9,000 RPMs. Pretty crazy. And then the horsepower is just amazing. I mean, gosh, you're over 20 horsepower at 5,000 RPMs, and you keep climbing clear till, gosh, rev limiter at 11. So I think they've done an excellent job on this motor, and a lot of that is head work. Of course, the big bore and the stroker has something to do with it, but that's all flow bench work. So if you guys want to get the maximum amount of horsepower and torque out of your WRs, there's nobody that knows better what to do with the heads than Davey over here at Lindsay Machine Racing. So I want to put a plug in for them and support them. They have done a tremendous job on this bike. Very, very good job. And we're done for the night, so we're going to pack her up. Minitstop's coming tomorrow to pick up his girl, and she's ready to go. Okay, everybody. So the bottom line, after putting in a 290 Athena big bore kit, a 3mm stroker kit, porting with the head, and significant time on the dyno, fine-tuning the air-fuel mixture of that bike through everywhere, the final results were 34.23 horsepower and 21.84 foot-pounds of torque. I think that's around 32% improvement. Pretty significant. And I'll tell you, I've gone down and ridden that bike, and man, the bike absolutely rips. I am surprised that those numbers from the seat of the pants of riding that bike, it's gnarly, man. It runs really good. In fact, I've heard people say, oh, a 290 kit will put out 32, 33 horsepower. I don't believe that. I know that the Lindsay Machine Racing dyno has been calibrated. I really believe it's accurate, but I rode the bike before, and I've never ridden a 290 Athena big bore kitted bike. I'm sure it runs better, but I would put any 290 Athena kitted bike up against this bike any day of the week, and I'll tell you to blow its doors off. I mean, the bike absolutely rips. So, you guys are all wanting to know who won. Now, the way we figured this out was we took the horsepower, and then I took everybody that put a guess in, and I subtracted, or I took the difference between what they guessed and what the real horsepower number was and wrote it down. My wife helped me, so we had two eyes on it, making sure we didn't make any mistakes. On the torque, we did the same thing. So whatever the difference was between the real torque and what you guessed was the number we wrote down, and we added those two together to make a final number on how far off the person was. And I am freaking so surprised how close people got. So let's do this. Let's start from the bottom up. Here's a funny thing. I figured it out the first time, and I screwed up in how I was doing my math. And so I thought we ended up having like 3 second place finishers. But after I went through and reviewed it, and we found the mistakes that we made and reviewed it 2 and 3 times, we ended up with 2 extra sets of grips. So we've got 1 t-shirt for first place. We have a set of blue grips, red grips, that's almost KTM orange grips, and white grips. So we've got 3 sets of grips. So we've got now a 2nd place, a 3rd place, a 4th place, and the t-shirt for 1st place, and 5th place we've got the tailpipe plug. So we're actually going to go down to 5 places, okay? So that'll make it just a little bit more fun. So everybody's going to wonder, Oh, and there were two people that actually guessed the mile per hour exactly. So I didn't have that on video. It was Davey and I that both looked and saw the miles per hour on Daisy Chain when she hit the rev limiter in 6th gear. And let's start with that. What we're going to give you is an actual signed copy of the dyno graph. Okay, you can hang it up in your shop or something. So it's an actual signed copy by Dave Lindsay at Lindsay Machine Racing. And there were two people, and the people that won that was Commotion. That's K-A-M-O-T-I-O-N, Commotion. You guessed 114 miles per hour. That's exactly right on the money. And the second person was Brent Freeman. You guessed 114 as well. So you're both going to get a signed copy of the dyno graph. Now, let's start from 5th place. So since we're going down to 5 places instead of 3, the one who won the tailpipe plug, and they were 1.97 off. Let's wait for these cars to pass. 1.97 off in the horsepower and torque guess, and that number 5 spot went to Satman71. Satman71, you edged out the other guy like 0.02 or something. It's crazy. So you get the tailpipe plug. What we're going to want to do is have you email me at mrduffactor@gmail.com. Give me your address, and I will send a little something in addition to the plug to you for winning number 5 spot. So number 4 was at 1.93. Number 4 was Guns and Games. You win a pair of grips. Guns and Games 1.93. You took number 4th spot. That's pretty awesome. Sorry, this is time that everybody comes home from work and stuff. So you got a pair of grips. Now, because you're number 4, you don't get your choice in color, okay? The person who gets their first choice in color is the number 2 guy. Number 3 gets the next choice, and you get what's left. But hey, it's something. 3rd place at 1.89 off was Jeff Knowles, ZX6R. Jeff Knowles, ZX6R. You were dang close. You get a set of grips. Just let us know what color after the first guy chooses, and we'll get you those. Send me an email on your address, mrduffactor@gmail.com. 2nd place prize goes to the Dude. The Dude, 1.82 off. The Dude, you get your choice of color of grips. We've got red, white, and blue, or kind of orange, white, and blue. You let me know what your choice is. You get that color. Jeff will get the 2nd choice, and then 3rd will go to Guns and Games. Okay, so for your grand prize, I cannot believe how close he was. He gets the t-shirt. It's Charles Penner. Charles is 0.91 off. I can't believe this. This dude, Charles, you guessed 34.3 on the horsepower. It was actually 34.23. You were 0.07 off on the horsepower. Unbelievable. And on the torque, he guessed 21. So he was only 0.84 off on the torque. Mind-blowing. How you figured that out, I don't know. But you won the grand prize of the t-shirt. Lindsay Machine Racing. I'm going to send you guys a little something extra. But you won the grand prize. So Charles, everybody, I appreciate you guys participating in this contest. It was a ton of fun. I kind of wish I had everybody's numbers before we were dynoing the bike, but I will tell you, if you want the ultimate motor, in my opinion, for longevity for a WR310R, you got to do the 290 or even the Thumper Racing 280 kit that Ride Victoria Ken uses in his bike. You got to do a 3mm stroker. You got to do porting from Lindsay Machine and get it dyno tuned by someone who's really good that knows what he's doing. That bike absolutely blew my mind how much fun it is to ride. I can see the appeal in that bike. I don't have one, and I love the bikes that I have, but it was a ton of fun. So thanks a bunch for coming and participating. Let's wrap this up. I've got a lot of videos in the queue. I want to go over the suspension stuff that we did with the bike, particularly the rear shock. I figured out the rear shock rebound problem, and we want to talk all about that. And I'm just going to do it based on when I have time. So thanks a bunch for joining in. Appreciate it a bunch. Everybody have a good day. Duff Factor out.